Hi, my name is Avery Campbell, and this is my senior big board. So before I get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So again, my name is Avery Campbell. I'm a senior here at Seaholm High School. I've been in Flex all 4 years, and I'm a young lady. I am not a bra burner. I shave my armpits. I don't hate men. I don't blame men. Um, I'm a regular girl. I wear Lululemon leggings, just your average teenage girl. And I'm also a feminist, because average people can be feminists too. That's just what I like to say in the beginning, because feminism isn't just for women, and it isn't specifically just for extreme crazy women. It's for anyone who just wants more equality in the world. So, young ladies, this is for you. Do you care about your future? Raise your hand. Oh, all of you care about your future and the world you live in. Fantastic. You should be a feminist because it promotes a better world for women. There you go. Take that home. So, everyone else in the room, have you met a woman? Yes, all of you have met women. How many of you care about a woman? Yes, all of you care about women. Perfect. Feminism is the place for you to be. Because it's not always, the things that we do are not always about us. The tests that we take, the classes we are in, the things our teachers say to us, are not always about us, but they're helping others. And it's just a little thing we can give. So feminism is for everyone. There's no downside to equality. No downside, only benefits. So jumping right in, we're going to be talking about a variety of social problems, the first of which is education, educating our young women. Now, education is important for all young people. You know, we all want everyone to be well educated, well rounded, being the best person that they can be. It's what we all really strive for, especially for young girls. There are so many programs in place already, and so many young girls attending school and college. We have huge numbers of college women, and it's awesome, and we just need to keep that up. We need to keep pulling everyone up with us. We just need to keep pushing, moving forward with education. I had the pleasure of speaking to the AAUW Birmingham chapter women. AAUW is a fabulous organization, the American Association of University Women. Fantastic group, promotes education in young women, provides scholarship and activities, fundraising, really great program. And I talked to all these women, most of which are educators or very invested in education, and most of them have kids themselves that have gone through school. So it was really interesting talking to them about not only their opinions, but their experiences with going through the education system. Now, what we need to focus on now is really pushing STEM for young girls. STEM is sciences, technology, something else, and mathematics. Oh, engineering and mathematics. So those are all mostly male-dominated fields. Now, it's not saying that we don't want men to have jobs. If you look at it economically, and if you look at it as far as like your workforce, now women are half the population, approximately. Now, imagine you had half of your workforce. You're only using half. You're only educating and only using half your workforce to support your entire population. That's just crazy. That just doesn't work well. You're going to have a limited pool of creativity. You're not going to get the same. You're not going to get the same results as if you have both halves. Women in the workforce not only provide more people working, but more imagination, more minds. The more minds you can get working together, the farther you can go. So it just makes more sense to promote education for young women and for all people. It's just good. Education is the best. Everyone should learn. So our next point we're going to talk about is body image and clothing choice. Now, everyone has had problems with their body image, whether they're a boy or a girl. Everyone always has that issue, but young girls experience it very differently than young boys. So, from my experience, I hit puberty pretty early. I was wearing a bra in 5th grade. it was just, it became part of my life very, very early, but that does not mean that it was any easier for me. Um, One of the main struggles I had, and one of the memories that really sticks out to me, is I had this favorite shirt. I'd had it forever, and it was just home to me. It was love to me. I just loved that shirt. I loved it. And after I hit puberty, it didn't fit me the same. Now, I'm the same person, and that shirt was the same shirt, and I could still like put it on, but it fit me differently. It was just different. I couldn't wear it anymore. My mom told me I couldn't wear it anymore. And it kind of confused me. Like, I got that like my body changed, but like I didn't change. And no one really explained to me. It's like, oh, Avery, like you can't wear this shirt because it's too sexually revealing, and that's inappropriate, and that's wrong, and we don't want people to look at you like that. Now, this is a protective stance that my mother wanted. She didn't want people looking at me. She didn't want people doing things to me, and like I get that. But if you take it a step further, I was 10. I mean, I don't think I could have done anything. Like, I wasn't a sexual being at 10. I just had breasts, and that was what made me sexual to other people, I guess. The problem with that is that you're telling young girls at a very, very early age that they need to cover up because their body is wrong and inappropriate. Now, obviously, no one's going up to you and saying, you specifically as a human being are wrong and inappropriate. No, you just say, that shirt is inappropriate, or you can't wear that, or you're being distracting. That still comes across as there's some problem with you. And this came to light a lot this year, specifically with school dress codes. There's lots of stories about girls wearing inappropriate outfits that really weren't that inappropriate, and then just being dismissed as being, oh, it's distracting for our other students, aka our male students. There was a really amazing quote made by a young lady in Canada who had been dress coded for her shorts that were too short on a hot summer day. And she said, I'm a 15-year-old girl. If you are sexualizing me, you are the problem. Now again, it's just too true. I cannot add anything onto this. The only thing I would try to add on is I'm 18. I can own a house, buy a gun. I'm free. I can do anything. I can have sex. I can do whatever. And yet the idea of like being sexy is still kind of weird to me. Like, I can look cute for a dance. I can look really nice. I can be kind of sexy. But at the end of the day, I'm just still like a teenage girl, like, oh, I'm weird and I make funny voices sometimes and I'm just kind of strange. So the idea of like a 15-year-old girl being sexual at all just is laughable to me, because I'm thinking about me, the one who's like legally allowed to be sexy, and it's just weird. I can't do it. So as 15, I can't even fathom that. Where was that? I'm just gonna check my time. Okay. So the point being that we need to stop teaching our young girls that their bodies are wrong, because this leads to really severe low self-esteem later in life and poor body image, because girls are caught between this weird, like, I need to cover myself up and feel like ashamed of what I have, and then, getting more attention when they do reveal their bodies. It's very mixed and extreme messages that are really confusing to young women. Our next point is about working mothers. So when you make the choice to become a mother, you have some women, they want to be moms. That's what they want to see in their life. And other ones, it just doesn't work out for them. Maybe that wasn't their plan. That just wasn't, not for them. They just don't want to be moms. Now, as an 18-year-old, no one's really pushing for me to have kids. And motherhood sounds like gross and terrifying and just awful to me right now. But if I was, and like right now, no one's going to question that, but if I was 35, I get a little bit more commentary. I guarantee you if I was 35 and said that I didn't want to have children, someone would come up to me and say, well, don't you feel like you're missing something? Don't you feel like there's like a gap in your life, that you're not fulfilling your motherly needs, blah, blah, blah. But no one would ask a man that. And last time I checked, okay, I'm going to try something for you guys. I'm just going to try it. Baby, 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 baby! Oh, I don't think that I'm pregnant. No, no. Definitely can't have a child by myself. For sure need that other set of chromosomes to make this thing happen. So it's not like women's sole job to have children. It's not like we're the only ones that can do it. We need a whole other half, and yet that half is not scrutinized on not having children nearly as much as women are. And this is just something, again, looking at women first as a gender and not as people. So me as Avery, I don't want kids, and that's just me as a person, but I'm being judged as a woman, then Avery, not wanting to have kids. Men are allowed to just be the men that they are. They're allowed to be the person that they are. They have personalities and choices that no one questions them on, whereas women are constantly scrutinized for things that we're just choosing as a human being, gender or no gender. If women do decide to have children and they decide to go back to work, there's a whole other set of problems. One of which my dad really ran into. So my dad is an executive and he manages his sales team, and he's talking to me about a woman that works for him, and he wanted to give her a promotion. She's a great worker, really fabulous, but he couldn't do it. And my first response, the first thing I thought in my head was just who are you kidding? This is the 21st century. You can't be like that. You can't just not give her the job because she's a woman. You have a daughter, me. You have me as a daughter. That's just ridiculous. You're being crazy. But he explained to me that, she has 3 kids and she has a husband, and, whenever her kids needs a ride or gets sick or anything, she's the one that has to take care of them. So she works less hours, and she just literally could not commit the hours that this promotion would require. And as in my business brain, that makes a lot of sense. If she can't commit the hours, then of course she can't, get the promotion. And I would make that exception for people. And I guess the problem really lies in the fact that, and I don't know these people, I don't know if they had a discussion about this, I don't know if they planned about it, but because her husband's not taking equal amount of time to take care of the children, she is suffering in her job and not getting the promotion that she deserves. Now again, I'm not commenting on their home life. They made that decision, that's the choice. I'd do something differently if I was her. But this situation is not uncommon and often does not come with a conversation or a mutual decision. This is just what's expected to happen, and it's limiting women. Now, obviously, we can't go into everybody's home life and change what they're doing, but what we can do is create a different work environment for women. This is not something that's anyone's fault. I don't think that there's a group of, men CEOs wearing black capes and having a council of patriarchy just deciding, let's screw all the women. That's ridiculous. It's no one's fault. It's just the system that we're in right now, and it needs to be updated. Changes need to be made just like anything else. Nothing can be set in stone because times change. You have different needs, you have different wants. A lot of companies, what they're doing now is they'll pair up 2 working moms. So let's say we have Suzanne and Debbie. So let's say Debbie's kid has a pageant. Suzanne will cover Debbie for that day, and while the work gets done, everything goes out the same, and Suzanne just covers for her. Now let's say Suzanne's kid gets sick, and Debbie covers for her. So the same work gets done, everything is good, and they're just pairing these women up to kind of assist each other through their children's young age. Now, crazy thing about kids is that they grow up, and you have lives after these kids. So what their company is doing is they're actually investing in their women, not only as just workers, but as creative minds, as people supporting a family. So this way, this positive, this pro-working mother program invests in these women so that they will stay with the company, for the rest of their lives. And it's good for the company, it's good for the women. There's again no bad situation in this. It's really just promoting better business and better lives for our employees. So now, moving on to a little bit of a heavier topic, and one of the larger topics in modern feminism today is the rape epidemic that is sweeping the country. Now, how do we know it's an epidemic? Well, I know my dad has a Time article about college rapes that he's been saving in his office for 2 years, and I know he's going to talk to me about very soon. Not to mention the fact that our teacher had to have a talk with our graduating class next year, talking about college rapes, how to avoid it, how to see it, how to report it, all these different things, to just, hope for the best. It's still going to happen. That's kind of the terrifying part of it. Earlier this year, my close friend was sexually assaulted. She was raped. And as well as being very sad and scary, it was also just very weird and eye-opening. She called me after it happened. It was around 2 a.m. I didn't pick up. I was asleep. I called her the next day. She tried explaining to me what had happened, but it turned into more of me guessing until I knew. We were both crying on the phone. I was at school, and I was writing this paper. I was literally sitting down to write this paper when she called me, or when I called her, and it was weird to be writing about something and then to experience it so close to home. She asked me if she should call the police, and I couldn't answer her immediately. And that was the really scary part, because I'm an educated young woman. I'm a feminist. I know the steps that you're supposed to take after a rape occurs. I know what you're supposed to do. She knows what she's supposed to do. And yet, here we are, two young, well-educated feminists wondering if we should call the police. Now, if we're having struggles with this decision, I cannot imagine what any other girl would go through. Any other girl that isn't us. And I understood why so many rapes go unreported. Because the victim feels like it's their fault. They feel like they could have done something different. They feel like maybe they should have worn a different outfit. They feel ashamed. They feel dirty. So I told her we would call the police later. Told her to go tell her mom, take her to the hospital, get a rape kit. Went to the hospital. I would see her later that day. She got her rape kit. The police took her statement. And the next decision she had to make was whether or not to press charges. Now, she knew her rapist. It was a family friend. It was someone who had helped her through her divorce, her parents' divorce. Someone she loved like a brother. And she now held that person's life in her hands. Now, at the time, she was thinking about, if I report him, I give him his name. He's going to be charged. He's going to spend time in prison. Everything's going to go wrong. It's all going to be bad. And she couldn't make the decision. All this is less than 24 hours after a huge emotional trauma, by the way. You have to remember that. This isn't like you have time to recover and think about it and analyze it. No, you're still traumatized. So she did everything right and decided to wait to press charges. She went in a little while later, a couple days later, and explained to the police if she wanted to press charges. And the officer she was talking to told her that she couldn't press charges because apparently a rape kit is just not enough evidence. He told her that, well, you didn't scream, you didn't struggle enough. Well, you knew him, you knew the guy. Well, you consented to get into his car, right? Didn't you know what was going to happen? She did not press charges. Her rapist walked free. He's living a normal life here in Birmingham, Michigan. Yeah, Birmingham. It happens here. It happens to the people that you know. This is not a problem for the inner city. This is not a problem just for big colleges and party schools. This is a problem here in the place that you live. Her rapist called her too. He would call and text her because he didn't think that was rape. He just thought they were having sex. He just thought that her pleas of, no, no, please stop, I don't want this, was just a little bit of foreplay. He didn't even know he was a rapist. And that's the really terrifying part. I'm not so much scared of the rapists that tag you down in the alleyway and knock you unconscious. No, I'm afraid of the rapists who don't know that they're rapists. I don't worry about terrorists. I'm not afraid of guns. I'm not afraid of murderers, but I am scared shitless of college boys. Because they don't always know what they're doing is going to traumatize someone for the rest of their life. They don't realize it. It's not even on their mind. Still going to go to college next year. It's just part of my life as a woman. Just a burden I have to bear. An absolutely ridiculous burden. Because not only do I know the statistics about college rape, and not only do I know that most college rapists don't even think that they are rapists, I know how they're treated. I know how they're dismissed. I know how girls are judged on their sexual history, on their outfits, on how well they knew the person that raped them. I know how that works. I feel a little bit defeated. I feel a little bit helpless. And even speaking to you now, I know nothing's really going to change. Unless we all, not just people in this room, everyone you meet, everyone that person meets, makes a conscious and constant decision to change the way we treat women in America. How we treat them, how we see them, how we pay them, how we hire them, how we promote them. We have to change our entire world, update it, just update it, to support and properly support women in their lives. Teach your young people, teach your old people, teach yourselves, teach your friends. Spread the word, because this is not a law we can pass, this is not a bill we can write off, this is not anything, it's not Facebook-like, this is a commitment for the rest of your life to change something worthwhile. Do your part. Thank you.